Woo! All right. We're in.
So at work today we were talking about mammogram.
You know what?
Sure.
I'll clap for that. Nice work.
It's a warm-up thing.
Huh? All right. Hey, internet. Crits and Giggles is back with All Hail the Queen. This is our Tyranny of Dragons doing it live D&D thingamabob. I'm that Magic Juice, your host, GM, and General Cat Wrangler for the day. We're going to go around the table, introduce ourselves, our characters, recap what happened last time. That will be interesting and fun. And then we'll get right into it for today. So starting with Heck.
Oh my god. Hi. Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen. And as per usual, I am back with Aster, the Shifter Circle Wildfire Druid. On over to Chris.
Hi. This one's Chris. I'm a frog. And I make shiny. So big fun. Take it away, Hyacinth.
Hiya, it's me, Hyacinth, and I am playing Icarus, our Oath of Redemption. I almost said Retribution.
There you
Redemption, Paladin. Yeah, Corn Dog.
It's me, Corn Dog McGraw. I'm playing Juno, the Twilight Domain Cleric. Over to you, Chrissy.
Chrissy, Ulta, Magic.
That feels par for the course. Excellent. Okay, so last time, I'll get our memories jogging, and then we need some table. I'm gonna call it feedback as much as participation in a way. Maybe we'll get there together. Last time we knew that we needed to basically set up for our intended meeting with the Council of Dragons at Ulta's parents' home in Waterdeep. We talked with the Blackstaff to first of all get permission for all of these dragons to enter, as that is a necessity given the dragon warding that is around the city. That permission was granted, and we went shopping. We got some new digs. Everybody looks good. Set up for dinner, and we are now at the Cragmaw residence with Ulta's parents, the Blackstaff, and all 5 of the Dragon Council members. So to get the juices flowing a little bit, the 2 big things that have come up so far from my end have been you guys discussing the possibility of going directly to Avernus to somehow prevent Tiamat from coming through to the material plane in the first place, rather than fighting it from this side of the coin, so to speak. We got a little history lesson about, rule of law and the whole hell versus material plane thing. And then general discussion about some the allies that have been happening across the Sword Coast and possibly others that you might be able to get. And a little bit of conversation about something that Ulta might want to follow up with. You've all had some back and forth about that, so I'm going to let you guys discuss as you want. But it seems that Elia knows of somewhere to go and someone to talk to, at least, to follow up on that, if you choose to do so. So, anything else from your guys' end that's come from last session's discussions that we want to stew on, follow up on, anything along those lines?
Wasn't the Ulta follow-up that we talked about also possibly the person who would guide us through hell if we want to do that? Or was that a different dragon person?
That was connected as a possibility.
Okay. That's the only extra thing I remember.
Yeah, the rest was just friendship bonding time with dragons. It was great.
There was much dancing, possible sexual tension.
And snacks.
And snacks.
Lots of snacks.
Yeah, there was hors d'oeuvres passed throughout.
And a single violinist to set the mood.
We're going to hell. Right?
Are we going to hell or are we going to the Well of Dragons?
I feel like we were still in that debate, but no longer over the table. But I also feel like Spunk just likes to say we're going to hell.
This is the first time I have thought and said it.
Every other time has been thoughtless.
That, and maybe I didn't know we were going to. I mean, yes. This is the first time that I'm thinking about it in the context of like, we're going there, like we're going to Home Depot, like we're heading to hell. Need anything? As opposed to like someday we're going to end up in hell because that's what we deserve. Well, you and I'm with you, so guilty by association.
Guilty by association or the catalyst that made it happen in the first place?
I feel like you guys were murderers before I came here. And then like a toddler, I sponge absorbed your habits, your wants and desires.
We do think about it sometimes before we do it, though.
Like,
And we've had
wouldn't it be
regrets.
fun to murder those guys right now? And then we do it.
No. We have captured and released back into the wilds after.
We weigh the moral ambiguities of murder. We talk about the weight on our souls. And then we fucking kill them.
Beat them up a little bit. Ask them
You
if they'll kill
moonbeam
again.
one peasant and everyone's in an uproar about it.
And we'll never
I
let
don't
you
even
live it
remember
down.
that.
That was
Didn't even
like
have any-
session 3.
Yeah, I was like, when the fuck did we do that?
It was
I-
with the carriage by the side of the road, but that's all I remember.
Oh my god.
And they were like paid to be cultists.
But typically we catch and release.
That has been a more consistent.
Yeah.
We-
Hey, we didn't kill that one red wizard.
We catch bodies and release their mortal coil. I don't
Everybody's so
remember the
tired.
last time we left somebody alive after an interaction with them.
New story arc, I give up everything and worship the Raven Queen since we send so many bodies to death.
Hey, I know your character sheet looks like a freshman class resume, but like, isn't one of your classes Bard?
Not
At
anymore.
one point it was.
We have not once spoken to an enemy to try to dissuade them from combat.
Because I gave up diplomacy from Bard to get the Paladin.
I found that was stupid, so I threw it away when I multi-class.
No, I was
Like,
I
okay,
was a
I'm
murder
sorry. We're
Bard.
just gonna let that Draco Lich live next time, I guess. Like, cool.
Listen, what were they? The Abishai? The Abishai were intelligent creatures. We could have spoken to them, I guess. The Dracolich wasn't capable.
Yeah,
but,
they were actively trying to kill us.
What else
As you're
did we
going over
kill?
this, Icarus is like, what was an Abishai? I don't even remember.
That was when we had taken down the green dragon, or at least almost, and then like they tried
There
to
were
run away.
the dragon demons.
Yeah, the dragon demon thing. Exactly. It's like I feel like a lot of the things we've been pit up against are not things that want to negotiate.
Listen, have we had any opportunities in the last 10 sessions? No. But did we have opportunities when I first joined the party? A couple. There were a couple dragons there that were like, they were all like, who are you? And then we were like, boom. And then they were dead. And now you guys have like weird Power Ranger powers.
Ulta got hers from a ghost.
Yeah, which point of order they were given willingly, except for the one with the big crystal
Hole in his
dragon
face.
thing. Yeah. The one that was like killing the villagers anyway, which wasn't good.
Yeah, wasn't one of them like we killed a dragon and then another dragon gave us the soul?
Yeah, that was yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it was still given, not taken.
Hmm.
An argument could be
Necromancy is
made for
necromancy.
both.
Even
Healing is
consensual
necromancy.
necromancy is necromancy. And no, healing is not necromancy. Not anymore, anyway.
It's
Oh, not anymore.
Yeah, they changed
In
the
old
rules.
school, it was.
It's evocation now.
Oh, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Does it though? I think it's stupid. It's life magic.
Yeah, it's like being a Care Bear. It's like heart.
Sorry, I'll say that in character. I think changing the rules for necromancy so that it doesn't include healing spells is fucking stupid.
I don't get why there can't be a school of magic called restoration instead of just abjuration. Because abjure is like to guard or shield. But to restore is a completely different concept that is already in magic.
This is a beautifully philosophical discussion to be having
Listen.
with dinner with dragons.
Yeah.
What do dragons think?
The way that they see it is that the manipulation of energy is evocation, but I still think that that's like a blurry line. Life energy is still life energy, even though you're not manipulating the meat.
Well, that makes sense though, because like Alex Straza is fire and healing, right?
Who?
The life giver, you know, that one famous dragon that's totally in this game.
I don't know.
She's
I'm not
big
familiar with
dragon
that particular
turns into, like,
dragon.
a hot elf.
I'd like to think that healing magic is just a divine gift. Because that's how I can. I don't think schools of magic are really relevant.
Well, you would say that. Just because it exists without you needing to go to school doesn't mean we can't label it in like an encyclopedia, you know?
Bunk, did you learn all your magic through studying? Because I don't know if I've ever seen you study.
Yeah. I brought a couple of my books. The
He's
one
literally
book,
read 2 books at the same time, but like with his different eyes.
the
In his
library
defense,
that you found
Icarus
me
did
in
not see
was
that.
full of them.
Oh, I just don't. I didn't remember that.
Oh,
we
yeah,
went to the
no.
library.
The place you took me one from was a massive library.
Well, now you're bringing up that we took you.
Sorry,
Feeling-
sorry, you didn't like kidnap me. You just,
Justin, you come with us?
had me come with you to the dragon my family gets sacrificed to, and then fed it a sacrifice, and then killed it, which was great. Thank you. That was good. Gave me a
And
lot
then I
of different
consumed it.
options. Yeah.
Wait, Spunk, you don't have a dragon soul yet, do you?
No.
Are you gonna get one?
You want one?
I mean, that's a heavy question, I guess. I don't know how I feel. I guess it would be appropriate. It would be just like poetic justice. Like, I was a sacrifice. Now I have a dragon's sacrifice inside me. That would be crazy. I'm gonna say maybe. Listen, I don't want to go out of my way to go find one, but if one comes up,
What
like
if we just
in our
ask the Dragon
travels,
Council if they have any spare souls.
I see that feels. I know the line is blurry, but that feels evil, Icarus. That feels icky.
Or at least inappropriate.
It almost feels like,
Shit,
and
it's
like,
like, sacrifice your soul to me. Yay.
Right.
Not
it feels
their soul.
manipulative a little bit, especially since they might feel like they're in a position where they don't have a choice but to give me their soul
No,
for
no,
the
not-
greater good, especially if it was like a dragon that has like one of those hyper altruistic hearts that they like feel like, even if it's not necessary, they still do it because like they should, because they have to, because of the implication. If they don't, that we'll all die.
I didn't mean like one of their souls. Like I don't want them to like kill themselves and then give it to us. I meant like, if you
That's
have in storage.
so much worse, Icarus, and I don't know how you don't see that. You think they just have like a closet full of imprisoned souls that they could just flick one at me? Like, here, have a banana, kid.
Isn't there
No!
As he yells that, can I vibe check the dragons to see that are eavesdropping on us to see if they might in fact have like that moment of recognition or like
The ones- The ones that are always in earshot.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay. 30.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
You can see that all of them are like uncharacteristically relaxed compared to the other small handful of times that you've seen them. You can see that Tess McCullough is still very engaged with Mrs. Cragmaw, like talking about all of the artifacts they have on the walls and what they represent, where they came from, things like that. Even Elia has kind of like slowly gotten in on that discussion, still kind of in the background, but not really actively participating, but she's there. And the others are like very, very much in like an in-depth discussion with Mr. Cragmaw on like they've shifted from food and like the finer details of like cooking that he enjoys and things like that into like the political inner workings of Waterdeep and what's been happening over the last several years and decades and stuff like that. They are wholly just not hearing you guys at all.
Okay, but isn't there like an actual spell that just summons dragon soul? Like, where does that soul come from? Is that okay?
I mean, we're getting into the bit of the metaphysical. What is a soul? I've spent a lot of time reading about these, and it's really like it's there's a lot of debate that could go into it. Like, we know the weight of a soul, we know the energy a soul gives off, but we don't know what it is, where it's stored, where it comes from.
How many pieces of the soul is there?
It's not in pieces, just the one piece.
Some believe there's multiple.
Who believes this?
I don't know.
Sorry,
some-
I balked, but perhaps it was a religion or something that like believes this, in which case I shouldn't demean the belief, or no matter how wrong it is. Icarus, do you know? Are you did I
It's like some like historic people, I'm sure.
I feel like those are the people we should be finding and killing, you know? That's dangerous. Spreading misinformation about the soul. Like, it's highly contended where it comes from and what makes one, but the saying it's in multiple pieces, that sounds like necromancer talk, and I don't like it at all.
I just want to point out that we're wrong for killing people who are summoning an evil dragon queen, but you're threatening to kill people because you think it's
No, I don't think we're wrong for killing people who are summoning the evil dragon queen. But at least the information they're spreading is accurate. You know what I mean? Like, there is a dragon queen. They are going to summon her. She will be coming. It's not like that one dirty person outside Waterdeep who's talking about that one guy he keeps. What is his name? Jesus. He's got the sign says Revelations is here. Like, that guy's crazy. Never even heard of a Jesus.
Be yourself. So proud of yourself. Got me in a funny bone. It's like, I'm ready to go yell at someone on a college campus. Let's go.
Oh man.
But like I
Okay.
said, they what they say is accurate. So, like, you know, it's not like we shouldn't try to. Like, have you considered the alternative of not summoning a demon dragon from the other realm?
I mean, we could go try to talk to the cultists that are there. Well of Dragons. If we think that'll go well.
Funk, you go try that.
I mean, I feel like we're-
that goes for you.
I'm not good at talking people into things. Like, this current situation is clearly displaying, but I feel like that ship has sailed. Like, we could have convinced one or two.
I mean, in capturing and releasing cultists, we've convinced them to stop following the cult.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean,
Okay, but does anyone want to take on the responsibility of being the Rizzler when we try to go talk to them? Or, because I feel like our skill set is best utilized in helping people succumb to their ends, more so than it is being like, hey, we love you, do better.
In theory, I'm really good at diplomacy, but for some reason, tripping over all my words seems to counteract that a little bit.
There are those who could find you endearing.
It's not going to be me. I feel like...
I mean, you're godson, dad, child man.
Listen, if there's any proof that this game was made by white men, it's that diplomacy and persuasion are not intelligence stats.
Damn.
It's all about the luck of how good your face looks, apparently.
Truly.
Say it again, Juno. I didn't catch the rest of what you were saying.
Well, like, do we think that we would be effective in turning the cults against Tiamat, or just being like, hey, don't do that, and they'll listen?
Is there a way to contact Tiamat? I mean, we could try diplomacy.
Ah,
Could we just like message her?
Just
I don't
give her a
think
ring.
Tiamat directly is the way to
I
go.
think Tiamat
Hey, bitch.
definitely wants to come here. And we are trying to
Yeah,
say
she definitely
no
doesn't want
to
to be
people
in hell.
opening the door.
Tiamat is well past the you up text message. She's on her
Oh my
way.
God.
Well, because I was thinking about if we just try to convince her we're her parents and then say she's grounded, then she might not leave her room.
Huh?
When has that ever
Who
worked?
Who
When has
raised
that
you?
ever worked? You
You
never
know who
stayed inside
raised
when you were
them.
grounded.
You've met them.
Who? Your parents are so smart. How? Why? Why? You don't think it'd be easier to talk to like the cult leaders, maybe, and convince them you go straight to five-headed dragon from hell?
And just say, hey girl, stay home.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
The theory
busy.
is that
Don't
there's
go
like
out to the
so
club.
many cult
I have
leaders
work tomorrow.
that we have more people to talk to. So
I'm
we just
sick.
cut it off at the you know, like the head of the chain. It disseminates to everyone else. You know.
Yeah, no, that's a great look. I'm not saying that it's a bad plan all the time. I'm saying it's a bad plan right now.
Well, I also was the one that was like, maybe we shouldn't go to hell.
Sure. I mean, I'm not in a rush either.
Because in
Listen,
my
if we
mind,
ever come across an army with human people in it, and like the leader is like a person who has not the elemental spirit of fuck you driving all of their motivations, then we can try your plan. I like that plan. It's a good plan. Today, it's a no from me, dog.
well, think of it this way: it's just like testing the waters before we go see her in hell. Like, hey, I just want to check how your mood is today. We're gonna be stopping by.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what you want to say to the Queen of Dragons. Are you less moody today? No.
Are you
100% no.
PMSing?
Are you
That would
still on the
not.
rag? You five-headed bitch? Calm down. Those are
My
things
God.
we should never say. Keep those
not-
inside thoughts secret.
But does Tiamat get her period?
Or does she get 5 of them?
I can only imagine, like, over the
Or
table.
because she's
when,
a dinosaur and she lays eggs?
when Chris is saying the things that he's saying, like, is she watching and she understands the context, or is she only hearing what Chris says and is just like, what the fuck is going on over there?
You have no idea how many times the face just pokes up over the like little divider and goes, and I'm like, not you.
Anywho, sorry, I did not mean to break the continuity here.
New
Please
question.
continue.
Not to break the continuity, but new question.
Yeah, let's not
Tiamat-
talk about dragon periods, please.
Do you think Tiamat, like some gods, is like humanoid, like a giant woman goddess with 5 dragon heads, or do you think she's one dragon that's huge with 5 dragon heads.
Do you want that to be a philosophical discussion, or do you want a legit history check on that?
I'm okay with just a philosophical discussion. I don't think I know shit.
I'm
Okay.
actually
I want to
curious what
know.
you-
I want to know.
I want
rolled
to know
a
what you
4.
mean by that. Like when she chooses a human form, like the guy who's a dwarf,
No, like
whether it's a
someone who
5-headed
like,
like
takes
form she takes.
Yeah. Like,
What if her human form is one of all of the heads? Like there's one that's an elf, one that's a dwarf, one that's an orc.
do you think one's a dragonborn?
No. Decidedly no. Mainly because Dragonborn are sort of beneath them, and she's the queen of dragons, and dragons have a really problematic relationship with their elemental servants. But that's a different story. Literally, it was one in the library that you took me from. I mean, helped me escape.
Juno and Aster, you have no idea in the context of actual history. If anybody else wants an actual history
Oh, fuck yeah.
context check, you can go ahead.
I guess I'll roll for shits and giggles, but I don't think I'll.
Oh, that was a 14. 11.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, so yeah, this is fitting. The two of you know have like enough historical hearsay to like understand that she can shapeshift, and she's depicted in several different ways, humanoid among them. But as far as like her exact capabilities, you're not really sure.
Well, I feel like we'll see her in whatever it is, like her like battle ready scary form. So we might see
Sure.
her as more dragony.
You know what? It's fun to imagine she has one of each head, but I think the more horrifying thought is that she has one head but 5 pupils inside her eyes. I feel like that's more demon.
And then she like runs with her arms extended behind her.
Yes.
Would she also have 5 mouths to breathe the 5 different dragon flames, or no?
That'd be gross. So yes.
Which means
And she's
technically-
barrel chested so she can fit 5 lungs.
Only 5 lungs.
Do you guys remember for a hot minute how I think it was Icarus had a mouth in his chest?
Oh my
Mhm.
god, I
That
forgot
was
about
so
that.
gross.
That was
Yeah.
so
That's,
horrifying.
we had all just met. I guess
That
as a
was
full
cool.
group. Some of us knew each other before, but
I want to hear this story.
It was harrowing. Icarus, you tell
How
it.
happened.
Yes, Icarus, relive that harrowing story of you having a chussy.
Sometimes I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
Do all chussies have teeth?
I
That one
hate
did.
it.
I don't remember even
Yeah.
the context of how it happened. I just remember it was a
You got
roll on bad.
cursed.
we
That
were
was
we were
something.
in a place where channel points were a thing, and
Oh,
a
yes.
random curse was befallen upon Icarus.
Was it
It's
just like
in the middle of
People
combat?
paid
too.
money
Yep.
for
Yeah.
a mouth.
was it just like an open mouth, like you could see Icarus's ribs, or did it
Ultimate try
have
to feed
teeth
it.
and a tongue?
Think the stock image of what is it? It came out with Spelljammer, like one of the evil lich wizard things that came out with Spelljammer that just has like an open mouth on its torso.
I'm pretty sure I
very
saw
much
this
like
picture
that.
in the chat, but it would have been 3 years ago, so I'm not going to try and dig it up.
I don't remember.
I don't
Chris
even
doesn't
know.
remember.
Is
Oh,
in a
yeah.
place that doesn't exist anymore. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Ah.
well, this is fun. Do you want to go to hell?
Well, do we
Ready?
fill in the well and then go to hell?
What do we fill it with?
Bloodshed.
Oh,
I feel like we're just
I
going in
should've guessed.
circles here.
Yeah.
Question, Elia and council members. Would you like to sit down for dinner?
Didn't we already have dinner?
I thought we were dancing. Pre-dinner
were.
dancing.
We ate dinner earlier, though, because we were all sitting around the table.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Oh.
dancing is what
this
you do to
discussion-
help the digestive.
Okay, so then I've just been like going around farting Great. Cardio after dinner is for farting. Okay. Look. Question, Elia. I know we've talked about this at length. Is there a way to fill it in the well or stop the well from becoming a door that is conducive to the timeline that we're on?
She and the other 4 dragons, or the other 3 dragons, are going to look at Protanther. And he's going to look you dead in the eyes. He's going to shift from like his jovial, more relaxed demeanor into like the more familiar kind of serious business time look. Yes, that would be the way to stop all of this from happening from the material plane entirely. It seems that the options you are weighing grant you a choice to either attempt to make it happen from there or to attempt to make it happen from the other side.
I'm gonna look to the black staff. So there's like nothing the Council of Waterdeep and the folks around, with all the people you guys know, allies you have, there's no way for you guys to handle up top and us to handle hell. You guys want us a part of the up top handling? But also, I don't know that we want to go to hell. I just keep suggesting it as like an idea of putting something out permanently, rather than having to redo this every few hundred years when the next set of adventurers would have to deal with it.
Well, in the interest of preventing this from happening in a not so distant future again, it does seem advantageous that any attempt we could thwart from this side could be fairly permanent, with everybody wanting to be involved so highly concentrated. As to your question about what we could handle, I'm sure with the allies that you and we have amassed, yes, I'm fairly confident we could handle things up here as you were to find another way to the other side.
Is Avernus up or down from our current location?
It is it is like metaphysically usually depicted as down, but like literally it doesn't really work that way.
Space-time continuum, I see.
Yeah, like Underdark is literally down, but it's not like farther down is hell. It's more like portal to the right place is hell. Could be that way as far as you're concerned.
If we die in hell, do our body or our beings come back here?
Ooh, religion or history check?
But Daddy, I'm dumb.
There's a real answer to this.
Religion check. It's whatever you believe.
I hate you, fuzzy pink dice. I'm gonna have to switch soon. 14.
14?
Yep.
Okay. Under normal circumstances, if you die in hell, your soul essentially gets to go to its properly laid out afterlife. But under circumstances where, say, you have a pact for your soul with a devil, or you have been sacrificed to a devil, or you're killed like by magical means that specifically prevent your soul from going where it's supposed to go, then your eternal existence could be damned.
But okay, and here's a separate question, separate but related. So it would be easier to fight her in our plane because she would be weaker here. So what if we do like that would be easier. So and then we could learn about her, and then after we've had the experience of battling her and we know what she can do, then we fight her in hell and kill her forever. Because then she'll have.
Want us to fight Tiamat twice and kill her twice?
I mean, it's information gathering.
Let me
I'm
put it
not
this way.
curious.
Let me put it this way. If it hasn't been clear by the way the characters have been interacting, I'll just lay it down for you over the table. You essentially have two choices to like thwart the plan to bring Tiamat here. You can fight the cult and their allied red wizards up here in the material plane, and essentially stop the ritual / kill off enough of them that they can't make it happen in the first place, because you know that Tiamat needs that from the people on the material plane in order to get here. She cannot do it alone. In that scenario, you have to fight against the cult and the red wizards and potentially Tiamat, depending on how quickly you get there. The other option you have is to, and yes, in that scenario, Tiamat herself is not as strong as she would be because she is not directly in her layer of existence. On the other side, if you were to opt to go to hell, figure out how to do it, go there directly and maybe fight her, she has far fewer allies, you know, vis-a-vis an army, but she herself will be much stronger.
No.
Right.
I kind of do like the idea of maybe not having to fight Tiamat.
So, Well of Dragons gives us that chance. If we go to hell, we're for sure fighting Tiamat and probably everything else in our path.
Mm-hmm.
Now that
And
doesn't
we don't
go
have
without
a sexy ass tiefling lady to guide us through.
that doesn't go without saying that you could find new allies in hell to help you in that fight, because
Hell yeah.
last time we did have the conversation with the dragons about like the whole rule of law thing, and while hell and the devils are technically evil, they still have a rule of order and law to follow. So you know that other beings there would want Tiamat to not make it through. You just haven't amassed an army of them like you have up here.
We have to go talk to Tiamat's boss.
And
What's her
that's
name again?
diplomacy.
We have to go talk to Tiamat's parents so they'll ground her.
Oh, yes, her name Zariel.
Zariel. I was gonna say Azrael, and I was like, it's not a shadow boy, sexy man.
Just
It's not
rearrange the letters. Similar name.
So I was right. We do
Ariel.
have to talk to Tiamat's mommy.
right. Or we just shut the door and say, someone else deal with this in a few hundred years. That'd be the easiest way out of all this. May not be the right way, but it would be the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was sort of checked out after I heard Tiamat's mommy. Did you just say that it was the best plan to go to Tiamat's mommy and turn them in, or did you say something?
No, I was thinking the Well of Dragons, making sure that door doesn't open.
Gotcha. You said something smarter. Sorry.
No, but I talked about it directly after Zariel, so I can understand where that miscommunication happened.
I blacked out when that was
I think I might have too. I think I'm opting towards Well of Dragons. I don't know if we're voting on this. How do we want to do this, friends? Because while I have been insisting on hell, I'm also greatly tired. And hell sounds scary because I don't know what'll happen.
I don't know. Do we vote? Do we raise our hands? I don't know.
It doesn't sound like anyone particularly wants to go to hell.
I agree.
So I don't think we need to vote.
I don't mind visiting, but like planning a second.
Planning a
Yes.
diplomatic mission amongst our group with Zariel sounds about as fun as sitting in a pot of boiling water until we cook.
Which is a possible outcome of going there. So
Yeah.
perhaps we do let's just plan like a little vacation there sometime long after this whole event goes down.
Yeah. After the well, we'll vacation in hell. Ooh, that could be a fun, like, honeymoon slogan.
Yeah, I want that on a cross dish.
Also, like, do we really still want to go to hell if we just don't have to?
Right. That sounds like a problem for after the well. We can have that moral and philosophical debate in the future.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But then there is the further complicated issue of if we're not going to hell, do we still talk to the guide that Elliot offered?
Well, I think we would want all the help we could get from everyone. I think if we go to the well, there's going to be more obstacles than just a couple of guys.
Oh, and if we do go to the well, we can ride dragons into battle. But
That
we
would look
could-
cool.
But the council might not help us if we go to hell. So.
Right. They wouldn't be able to come with us if we went there.
Yeah.
They would still help up here, but they just wouldn't. We would be on our own in hell. So let's go to the well. I'll make the decision group so that way we all have someone to blame when things go wrong.
Better you than me.
You know.
I know.
When you say that the other dragons would not be able to join you in hell, Protanther does chime in to say that is not necessarily true.
Oh my god, you guys making us all wishy-washy, and Juno will just fall over and just lay there on the cold ground after being overstimulated by thought.
Well, Protanther, do you not want to go, or do you want to go to hell?
What I want entirely is to stop this all from happening in the first place. So whatever I and we together deem to be the best possible chance of making that happen, we will do. Even if we have to go separate ways between the five of us.
I was just trying to point out that we made it easier for both of us, and now I'm questioning everything again.
No, I think I still
over the
think
table,
it's
look,
easier
this is
for
not
both of
supposed to
us.
be an easy decision.
Yeah. Having more
Okay, but,
people
like-
going to hell with us would just mean like more things that can go wrong, at least in my brain.
I have a metaphysical question. Does it feel like the god that helps navigate this entire universe and galaxy, does it feel like they would rather go to hell or go to the well? AKA magic. Do you have a preference on going to hell or not?
Over the table? I truly have no
No,
preference, and I
no.
have a plan
Let's go
for either
under
way.
the table and talk about it.
Yeah, let's go underneath. We can all be little gnomes
Come on,
under our
magic.
table.
Tell us what you want.
Ever since one of you ever since the conversation came up with I think it was actually Juno asking somebody, what are our options for preventing this from happening? This happened a long time ago. And someone just off the cuff told you, well, you could go to hell and try to prevent Tiamat from coming through the portal in the first place. Spoiler alert, none of that is written into the module at all.
No, not at all.
But since that happened,
They
and you-
didn't have
and-
brains like mine on
and
site.
so since that happened and you guys collectively latched onto that as a possibility, I fully wrote out a possible plan of attack for that. So I am just as prepared for that choice as I am for the one that's written. Truly, you could go either way. I'm ready for it.
Translation. I worked really hard on this. Please go. Please.
Not really, because I'm fully prepared to do that as like a short adventure for a different party too, or even as a like what if with you guys after all this is done.
Oh, that would be a fun like what if
Oh my
thing.
God, a what
I
if?
kind of
Yeah.
love that.
What if we?
That we
What if we
make
do
a
both
save
endings of
state.
the
We're gonna make a
game?
save state and then save scum it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down
Gonna
to do
save
that
scum
too.
our
I'm
game.
not kidding. But yeah, in all honesty,
What if we
go
didn't
either
do
way.
that and then we found the other party and then killed them and took their quest?
I was just gonna say, can you
Sunday,
imagine
we're
if-
coming for you.
Can you imagine
I
if we
see
did the
you,
normal
Joe.
one, then played the what if, and all just died immediately? Good thing we didn't choose to go to hell.
Yeah, this is meant to A, not be an easy decision, but B, either way being very feasible with very different approaches.
So sorry.
So what do we do then? Should we do the two obvious options or a secret third thing?
No.
Is the secret third thing messaging Tiamat?
I roll up a newspaper. No. No.
I do still think the above ground option of maybe not even having to fight Tiamat sounds kind of enticing if we're all still on that wavelength.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the equivalent of her coming up above the water and our putting our hands on her face and just going, no, and pushing her back down.
Yeah, but
She'll
hopefully
be
we don't
pissed.
actually have to push her back down.
No, well, I mean, we could. I got a really big
That-
hand that I can summon to like push her.
But that might
Back
be
in.
more like fighting Tiamat again.
Sure, but it'd be funny.
Okay, so we're gonna let them summon Tiamat so that Funk can push her back down the well.
Yes, makes for great television.
And we're
Or
gonna
we
hire
could ride her through the well into hell.
And
I
then
really
she'll-
wish we had a bard in our party to write down this.
And then we find a
That would be-
boyfriend with sparkly eyes.
Yeah.
It's a long time to write songs. I'm still working on the Song of Dragons.
You're gonna have to like double down on that, Icarus, because regardless, something very terrible is gonna happen to us within the next like 48 hours. Probably.
Or something sexy.
Or something sexy. That would be cool. And I'm gonna look at my spouse.
The What If session is just the song I wrote about the alternative ending. It's like we start singing the song and then we like zoom in and it's like us actually doing it.
Ooh, a nice little anime like pick me up at the end.
Yeah, because I'm a really powerful high spellcasting bard.
All right. So, Craig Miles, dinner's been great. I think we're opting for the wells. All right, friends, make a W if you want wells, and if you want hells, make an H.
Wells
That's
Hells,
an
new
M.
campaign name.
That's an M.
We're Wing. Okay.
Get that dog.
Yeah, we're manifesting the W.
W.
Not George, but you know, winning.
Option 2.
That was 4. Where am I?
We're welling.
The dragons are going to like look at each other and just kind of like generally acknowledge and nod their heads at each other and eyebrow raise and cross their arms. You can tell that they're all just kind of like noodling already.
All right, so we should probably have like a plan of attack and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right. She's just gonna look over at Ulta. You're like the smart soldier of our group. I
You
think
might
you
be
might
the
be in
only one with
charge.
actual formal military training, right?
If you look over at Alta, she's just shoving food in her mouth. She's been doing nothing but listening this whole time. As you start speaking to her, she's just kind of following along. Yeah, I mean, I think best strategy would be understanding the enemy, obviously, a lot more, which I was hoping maybe our friends that we invited tonight could give us some insight into, as well as some insight into the followers, because we have noticed they are very different than your average cultist, because they bring things back from the dead. So I think just a good military strategy is understanding the enemy. Any help with that? And she's gonna look to the crowd.
I
Okay.
will follow the gaze and look over at the council.
Juno's also giving big bug eyes, unblinking, just pupils, staring everyone down.
I thought your eyes were all pupil.
Yeah, just pupils.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm really good at seeing.
It's so bright in here.
So much color in this room.
So Chrissy, over the table, help me out a little bit. Am I understanding correctly that you're going for just like overall information about the cults and the Red Wizards? Anything that could help you with like formulating an attack plan?
Correct. And we have seen that they now have like dragons in their, I'm going to use the word control because that's the best thing I can think of to say it, but that they have like brought forward dragons that we have had to kill. So like, what's up with that? Because that doesn't feel normal. Like, we've had these experiences of like, or at least the dragons that they're bringing back from the dead are not normal. So
Yeah, they're like souped up in weird ways and stuff.
yeah, like, so if anyone has any information on like what that's looking like, because if that's what we're dealing with, then we've been going into all of the battles deeply underprepared.
Precisely.
Okay. Protanther will then generally continue. It is important to understand the motives of both major pieces, I suppose all three major pieces of the armies that have amassed opposing you. First, you have the chromatic dragons. They are motivated by their own lust for power, possessions, dominion over others, even at the sacrifice of some of their own freedoms. By having Tiamat directly rule over them, they would be able to obtain all three. This is the central tenet of their desire for this plan to succeed, at least for the most part. And he's going to like Juno, I believe you have the highest passive insight, right?
Yeah, it's a million, also known as 27.
You will notice a very quick flicker of his eyes over to Elia as he says that last part. Then he'll continue. The Red Wizards have been a little bit more of an enigma until recently. Their desires for eternal life morphing into one of undeath has led them to some far extremes in the usage and stretching of their magics in this world and manipulating the weave in their favor. It is only with this combined effort with the Cult of the Dragon that they have reached beyond Thay in their efforts. And it does endanger the very way of life that anyone this side of their walls would know it. Why that alliance came about is probably because of the primary objectives of the original Cult of the Dragon. They wished to bring dragons from the dead under their control. Something that aligned with the Thayan wizards very deeply. Until recently, and until this alliance, that effort was generally unsuccessful. But they have shifted toward allying with the living dragons, as well as the Thayans, in order to both make that effort come to fruition and, as their compromise, work with the dragons to bring Tiamat here. Each has their own primary motivation, but they have found alliance with each other in order to make all three of them come true. It is important to understand, though, that no dragon that I have ever heard of would willingly succumb to being controlled by mortal beings, even undead ones. I can safely say that there are none that are controlled by them. They are simply very strongly aligned. What more do you wish to know?
So, like, do they have guns and shit? Oh, just kidding.
God, though, I hope you say that.
She's going to no, actually, I think that's really helpful. Can you give us any information if anybody here is aware of the dragons, plural, that are aligned with them, so that we know? I mean, because we've fought things that come back from the dead now. We've fought things that were like in ice caves. We've fought dragons that blow things up. It's like kind of a crapshoot at this point.
Yeah, we fought literal bones. Like,
So
that was wild.
when you say like chromatic dragons, is that who we should expect to see, do you think? Or are we thinking like do they have guns or what?
As a generalization, yes, you should expect to see all manner and size and age of chromatic dragons. However, some of us have discovered that they may not all be completely aligned with what this collective effort shows. However, it has been rather difficult to persuade from neutrality.
So we should try talking to the dragons first.
It seems a potential ally, and he's going to look over to Elia again. Invernaro has revealed himself as not entirely dissuaded. As it so happens, this is the guide that we have spoken of for you to see in the first place. I must warn you, though, he will
What was their name
require
again?
convincing. I will send it to you in Discord because the spelling of this is bonkers.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna call him Inferno Bro. Based on the
Infernal
name.
Bro better help us not raise a dragon from hell.
If he's not a red dragon, this is gonna be really awkward. I should have put that in lore.
So yeah, he says that, and as he says, he will require some persuading yet. He's not been swayed either way from neutral in this whole effort yet. Juno, you will see. Wait, what's everybody's passive perception? Just to make sure.
Oh, super high. 26.
22.
18.
Oh, I didn't realize Aster was higher than Juno.
Yeah, because
My
Aster
bad.
did the thing where they dumped into perception, and I did the thing where I dumped into insight.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have to backtrack a little bit to say, Aster, you would have also noticed the quick dart of the eyes to Elia earlier. But now the two of you would also see that at the mention of this dragon's name, the scar on Elia ever so slightly glows an orange red. And then subsides like half a second later.
Oh, so that was our health guide that we were talking about?
Yes.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Okay.
Elia, are you... This might be a really personal question, so feel free to ignore me. Are you cursed? Just that weird glowy thing. not trying to be insensitive. I'm just wondering if you're all right.
I would not call it a curse as much as I would call it an irreversible wound.
Your friend can't... Friend. Ooh. The person who did that to you, they can't hear through that, right?
They cannot.
Okay. Oof. Can they see through it?
I can assure you the only connection to them is in naming them. It is an unfortunate aesthetic effect and nothing more. Your passive insight, Juno, would tell you that that is almost entirely true. But with the way that she looks at you, like directly in the eyes when she says that, is she just doesn't want to admit that it hurts. Like it's a wound that just is permanently painful. But other than that, she is being truthful that like she's not cursed. He can't like magically manipulate her through that or like see through it or anything.
Okay. I just didn't know if they were like scrying through it, like it heard its name and then they're like, scry spell.
Yeah, right. No, you can tell that she's telling the truth, but she's just leaving out that it is a permanently very painful experience.
Could I like insight check if she like holds any like ill will towards that dragon because of that, or if she's just like it's a scratch?
You can. Yeah, insight check.
22.
22.
Yeah, that's about as high as I can get. So.
It feels like an impossibly complicated mixed bag.
Okay.
Like ill will, not necessarily, but like obviously there was a physical confrontation between the two, and she seems to have been maimed by it.
Okay.
I shouldn't say maimed. It's like just this side of maimed.
Yeah.
Permanently scarred, obviously.
Not that I expect this to be a question, but like every dragon has their strength, and within that they're like either resistant to that one or possibly weak to the inverse, probably not, but like they're resistant to their elemental aspect. Would Tiamat be resistant to all 5 that she has the heads of? Or am I overcomplicating this?
Protanther chimes in again. None of us could know for sure, but it does stand to reason that yes, with all of at least the 5 elements that her heads would show, she would have some sort of resistance, if not immunity, to the matching element.
You know what
And,
that
like-
means? I'm gonna be awesome. Because she doesn't have. She didn't.
He like flips it and she's
Right.
got a force, a divine, a necrotic head, and a psychic head.
She's a fairy type.
Fuck.
Suddenly, Tiamat's all of her defenses are like anything ranger related, anything wizard related, anything druid related. Like we're just, oh no, it's fine.
You thought you could get through this terrain. Soik!
Tiamat brings in the new D&D, new D&D or what is the word I'm looking for? Obstacle, rougher terrain.
Yup.
Roughest terrain.
It ignores all magical abilities to penetrate.
Because other than that, dragons don't really have like weaknesses. I'm not gonna ask you like dragon weaknesses, but like, would she have anything specifically? No.
So far as I would surmise, only her ego.
So you want us to give her a stroke?
No, I think they
Well, that
want
goes
us.
against what that is. You don't want to stroke an ego when you
No.
have an ego.
You want to bully it. You want to bully an ego.
Oh, I thought you just like if you like feed into someone's ego, they'll eventually like pop like a balloon. Like that would be their downfall. Is like,
Has that worked for anyone in the past?
well, yeah, because
No,
they get
usually
so
those
confident.
people, no.
They
No,
get so
they usually
confident
like
that
end
they
up in
blind
office
spot
without being
strength.
voted there.
Correct.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably some like proverb or something that's like the more you take, the less you have. But personally, in practice, it hasn't worked out for me.
I
I
would
think
love
Chris has been
$10 billion.
watching too many of those animes.
Exactly.
Is there like, I don't know, like a magic bomb shop or something like that we could go to, or like equipment here in Waterdeep that we could get? Maybe like healing potions that auto inject, or just things that can help make us stronger for the coming battle. Please help, because I'm scared.
At that question, Eliseo will chime in.
Spouse, you've been here this whole time.
As we may remember during last session, they revealed several contraptions that they'd been working on with artificers of the city and the schools to aid in a coming mass conflict. So like special, I don't want to call them saddles, but like specialized harnesses for people to ride dragons with some amount of safety, and other like machinated magical implements of similar variety. So they would say automatic potions is certainly an idea. And you can tell that they're like immediately noodling on it. But as far as bombs, we would have to go a little bit rogue with that. I do have some research and amassed documentation from other cultists in their activities in the Somber Hills that do involve magical elemental storm orbs, for lack of a better word.
But she might be resistant to storm orbs.
Yes, but an army might not be.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we could send it down into the well, kind of like when you throw dynamite into the river.
I don't think there's anyone actually in the well. I think it's just the place, and her armies are around it. I don't want to like ruin your thing, but
I have a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of people in this well. I feel like the cult's been gathering a lot of people, and they're like all hanging out.
Ulta is going to look to the group of dragons in the room for clarification on if the well is a literal drop
Yeah.
bucket in a well, or if this is just a portal to
I thought it was like
hell to unleash her. Like, what are like?
I thought it was like in a mountain, like in a
I don't know.
Yes.
like a volcano, but not.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying now, though. That makes sense.
Let me look at something real quick. I do have an answer to that question. I just have to say the right name.
I pooped in one of them in Kansas, and I can't remember what they're called.
A geyser?
A geyser?
No. No, I would never shit in a geyser. I value my life.
That's terrifying. It shoots back out with hot steam.
A hot spring?
Where's my? There it is.
I
What
mean,
do I
I
think
do
Corn
have
Dog
a
would've
heated
pooped?
bidet, so I think I'd be all right. But
Where would Corn Dog have pooped?
okay, it was like it kind of it resembled an inactive volcano somewhere in the middle of this country. And if you're gonna ask me where, it was a fever dream from hell of a road trip.
For some reason, I thought it was both a literal well, and then there was nothing coming out of the literal well. So I was both agreeing and disagreeing at the same time, I think.
Because I had been imagining the thing that I pooped in. Inactive.
Did you
Everything
poop at
that,
Yellowstone?
everything that you guys have said so far essentially is part of the correct answer. Okay, so Protanther will answer. The Well of Dragons is many things all at one.
Oh, God.
It is a fortress created by the cult as a whole. It encompasses an extinct volcano at the north end of the Sunset Mountains. Within it, you should expect, and around it, you should expect many people, many creatures, many dragons, whose will is to protect it and allow the ritual to complete. You can also expect within it to be the entire amassing of the treasures that have been looted from this world over the last several months and years to welcome Tiamat to her new lair and hoard.
Okay, but what about a physical well?
You may think of it as such. It is, in fact, an inactive volcano at this point.
So no, a dog comes running out Johnny fell in the well.
Not exactly.
It's a long fall.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a well, not a volcano.
Yeah, they're not gonna fall into water at the end.
Lava.
Because on the map,
That's not water.
it's like in that mountain range down at the southern.
Yeah, imagine one of the bigger peaks
Yeah.
kind of by itself.
That's why
that
I
is the
imagined.
well. Yeah.
Oh, so I just saw Chan.
Hey, we're gonna pause real quick. Take a super quick break, let all that stuff marinate, and then give you a couple minutes while you're running to the bathroom, getting refills and such to think of anything else you want to ask or talk about. We will be right back.
really fucking octagonal on the
Got
stop
him.
sign.
I wish I had cold open for that.
That was beautiful.
Oh, sick burn for a cold open. I would never recover. Don't ever do something like that.
Yeah. Okay, chat. If you can guess what my astrological sign is, you'll have bragging rights. How about that?
The issue is I don't have a good enough memory to remember when anyone's birthdays are. So that's usually the hint.
I asked someone today in a chat, when's Chrissy's birthday? Is it this date? And Chrissy confirmed in that chat because I definitely sent it to a group chat with Chrissy in it. But I don't have Facebook anymore, so all of those birthdays that save in your calendar automatically, they're just gone. So I was like, oh no, I can't have everything memorized. Still have to remember my next door neighbor's phone number from 1995.
Yup. Crazy how that works. All right, but anyway, we're back.
These are dumb.
And
have been for a while.
Yeah. We're back. We have been talking with the Council of Dragons and our general companions about planning, learning about our enemy, planning what we're doing next. It sounds like we've opted to not go to hell, and definitely go for the
We
Well
still
of
may
Dragons.
scum save. We did discuss that option.
You say what?
We did discuss scum saving.
Oh yeah, like the
So like
save
hitting
here
the
and then go
save
back.
point right here, right
Yeah.
before we make this fork in the road, we're gonna just do a manual save.
Listen, I'm 1,000% down if you guys are. But anyway.
Hell yeah, dude. He's like, I'm gonna do both.
Yep. But yeah, so we've been learning a bit about the trifecta, the Cult of the Dragon, the Red Wizards of Thay, and the Chromatic Dragons overall that have what's the basis of their allyship and making this happen, and stuff about them in general. We also know that this Imhavarno dragon is both someone that Elia has tried to sway to sort of our side of the entire conflict against bringing Tiamat here in the first place, and a potential guide to hell should we elect to go there as our approach to preventing Tiamat from getting here. As a reminder to you, the party, this is also the being that has been suggested as being able to guide us to what's going on with Ulta's shadow. That was mentioned either last session or the session before, but it might have been lost in all the pretty hefty info dumping and lore dumping that's been happening the last couple games.
Sorry, who was associated with that?
Imhavarno, the dragon that Elia's been trying to talk with.
The Hell Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Tangential as I will be, I did some internet sleuthing, and I found out that I was in fact correct. You are a Leo.
Hey.
But I said it, and I was like, I don't know why I think this, but I think you are, and I was right.
You right?
Talk everyone. Figure out everything. Actually, don't. Please leave me alone. But we're not going to hell? We should go to hell? Magic, you're giving us a lot of mixed signals.
Yeah, it's again not intended to be an easy decision.
It sounds like a good place to start would be talking to a possible ally named no.
Here.
Bernard.
Mr. Bean?
3 shillings to the first person to pronounce this name correctly.
Bro, I don't know.
Environment.
Sounds like some carnival ass bullshit. Yeah.
Armagerd.
Nice. Old years. We are unearthing relics.
We're stupid together.
we're all stupid at the same time in history.
Oh my god. Here, chat. I will give this to you as a context, so you can be in on what this struggle is at
Be
the
in on the
moment.
joke.
Her hernia, her hymen,
No. No.
No hymens.
her. She, her.
Oh,
Here's the thing: is that there's like a lot of letters in that you don't need.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
It's
many.
like French.
insert
Get,
any
like,
dragon
a
name
max
here,
of
and that
8
is the
letters.
case.
Too many letters. Get rid of them.
Yeah, like
A
you
long
just-
name has 8 letters in it. Anything.
Invernhemtaro.
Where did the Hentaro come from?
Hemtaro.
Inverno.
Her bourbon.
Another possibly stupid question: is there anything preventing us from getting
AIDS?
scarred like our friend, the all-powerful ancient dragon, was?
Ooh.
Because I promise you, she's tougher than I am.
Oh, for sure.
No. Icarus, you're so strong.
I know,
How does
it's-
Strong
ever
as
since
like uncooked pancake batter.
Ever since I
Jesus.
quit my bard days, I've been pretty tough.
Corn dog, where do you come up with this shit?
What the fuck?
It's not
Jesus.
me.
Oh.
My eyes have kind of started to disappear. So it's the drugs speaking now.
Hey. Jesus Christ. Okay, at that question, Protanther will answer. That would depend entirely on your manner of discussion with him and no small amount of luck.
So, can I ask what approach you took then, so we don't try that one?
Yeah, Elia will respond. I have attempted to appeal both to his sense of ownership over the mountain in which he resides, as well as his personal pride over preventing dominion over him.
Okay. What do we know anything about his general motivations? Like,
I'm gonna let you finish that thought.
yeah, I'm just thinking like, I feel like each of the dragons we've interfaced with, like humans have different, or the humanoids we face have different personalities or different motives or goals. So I'm just thinking like, does he have one driving force as like an ancient dragon that is his most focused?
His primary motivations, as far as I know, are to have no physical or magical rival, and to have no question to his dominion over the Star Mounts.
So should we stroke his ego?
Why are you wanting to stroke every?
Well, we want him on our side. That's the.
You're gonna give me a stroke.
I'm pretty sure you've had like 6.
Okay.
I thought this one made more sense though.
I can't feel my face.
I can
Maybe,
at least
maybe
say.
we don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was like, maybe we don't necessarily have to appeal to his ego. More so, go for the logical point of view, at least from what we're seeing. I mean, do we think Tiamat is going to uphold whatever promises that she makes to him? No, definitely not. We just have to make him see that. Make him realize how small that she's going to make him feel. And if he sides with us, it's not going to be that way.
Well, if he wants to be like unrivaled in strength in physical and magical or whatever, would Tiamat rival him then? And that would be his opposing.
Oh, it won't even be a competition.
So maybe that's part of our or part of our. I'm
Perhaps.
also just trying to establish a little bit of like a plan, because if I have to do any talking, which magically sometimes I'm good at talking, I feel like my brain also needs to be primed for that, so I don't like mess up.
What you are suggesting, I have not directly mentioned in my negotiations with him yet.
Well, that's promising and all, I suppose, in kind of a weird way.
I mean, I'm gonna be real honest, whether we know like motivations or not, I just think we just go and talk to them. Because the worst that can happen is he says fuck off now.
I can assure you that it would be worse than that.
Fast.
I have a question for the Dragon Council. Are there any dragons that are of a venerable age that are incapable of assisting with the war effort?
Go on.
So
I'm gonna cast guidance on Spunk as I give him a nice little pat on the back.
As you do that,
that's
Protanther will wave a hand,
No.
and you'll feel like a crack in the air, like a static shock when you touch Spunk, and you'll feel your magic completely dissipate, and he'll just say, "We did have an agreement."
It wasn't so much for you as it was for Spunk. I don't know. He's just nervous.
no, it's okay. I appreciate it. I'm not nervous. I want to word this appropriately.
We are an honest company with collectively similar efforts in mind. You can be yourself with this discussion.
Certainly. I guess what I mean is I don't want to be misunderstood, which is why I'm choosing my words carefully. Not so much for fear. The location of the Well of Dragons. How well known is it amongst dragonkind? Like before the cult arrived?
It was not known at all until the Drakenhorn was sounded by an ally of them. Spunk. This would lead you back to a memory from before you joined this party.
Okay.
Where like very low drawn out droning sound just like out in space around you just kind of like caught your ear, and maybe about half of the people and creatures around you just like seemingly randomly during a day. And you did notice that the dragon that your village would give sacrifices to you, like immediately stirred in its lair and like flew out and like did what you would recognize as like a patrol around its territory for like 3 days before it went back in.
So my point, I know dragons tend to be pretty territorial, and I know that this bodes poorly for all of you should something go awry. The reason I ask about a venerable dragon, one that may want to assist but is incapable, me and my compatriots have discussed the fact that all of them seem to carry a boon from one of your kind. We had also discussed how to go about acquiring one for me, but I didn't the idea of taking one does not sit right with me. There's the acquisition. To be frank, it feels icky. It's a disgusting process that I'm not eager to take part in. However, given that dragons become more powerful the older they are, eventually your bodies have to give out. I don't know where the nearest dragon graveyard is, but I imagine that if something were to be resurrected from hell, it would have to be there at the Well of Dragons. It
This
just
is-
stands to reason. They're putting two and two together. Just me.
This aligns with our collective assumptions so far, yes?
If there was a dragon that was headed to the graveyard but could not now because of the situation at hand, is there one that would be willing to go through that boon process in exchange for me bringing their bones to the graveyard once we've cleared it, so that the transaction doesn't feel so larcenic? You know what I mean?
Yes, of course. If our information is correct, your guide, Imivarno, would be able to lead you there.
To a dragon of so there is one, a dragon of venerable age who would be willing to.
If my understanding and research are correct, yes.
Interesting.
You would be wise to address him by his true name.
And that would be
Shandrint the Protector. I will also give you that in Discord.
Yes, thank you. Like, I need a spelling on that, bro.
Sharingan
Let's just call him Shane.
Chartreuse.
No.
Ulta, make a wisdom check.
You don't want to pick something for that? You just want to go old-fashioned wisdom?
Yeah, just straight up wisdom. History.
You don't,
history
you
check.
don't want insight? Just kidding.
Could you, if you could make a
Well,
case for insight-
history's intelligence.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to either choose wisdom or choose intelligence
let's
here,
make
bud.
let's make it history. Yeah.
Fuck me. That's not the one we wanted.
If you can make a case for something else that is like not too much of a stretch, I'm down.
I don't even know what you're asking me for right now, so no.
Okay. Nice.
18.
When this name is mentioned,
it's-
it you have this moment of like a flash. I don't want to call it. What do we want to call it? Like almost like a locked memory.
Like a deja vu?
Yes, very much like when you had that really intense experience not very long ago where you heard a name that you feel like is a surname that you know. You remember that?
Sure.
It's in our DMs.
Yes. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay,
But I do
so-
remember the conversation, yes.
Yeah, so that name is like, I know that name. You're not really sure where from, but like it gives you the vibe of a long lost friend.
Okay. I'm not saying that out loud to anybody.
So yeah, Spunky says that to you. Of course, mentioning that going to this Imhivarno dragon is a possible avenue to reaching
Great.
this dragon.
Is that guy here the person he met? He said like my associate. Knows where. Oh, Change Runs to the Protector is his associate, right? Or is that the name of the dragon?
Changerunth is the name of the dragon.
Okay. What was his associate's name that he said knew the way to him?
Imhervarno, the same dragon that's already been mentioned as the potential guide to hell and a potential ally. Like, it seems like Imhervarno is like the key to any next path you might want to take.
Right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will talk to El Infierno about this.
That's actually not far off, dude. Oh shit.
Thank you. That's all I had.
So I guess we have to see Inferno.
Yeah, I would think we would want to do that beforehand, just in case, on Alta's behalf. Because
On the bright
what
side-
if there's something we don't know?
Yeah, on the bright side, if he's in the Star Mounts, then it's in somewhat familiar territory, because that's where the council resided. So it's not like we're going a random place for him.
This was not where the council resided.
What? Why do I remember the Star Mounts then?
You might be remembering it because a while ago is when the council told you that is where Elia was on like
okay.
her own certainly like one-off mission, and like so in
Yeah.
Which
character
he
should be
went
coming
and
together.
probably got that
Make-
scar.
Makes
Yes.
sense now. Makes
Yes.
sense. So the council doesn't reside in the Star Mounts.
Nope.
You know, my whole life is a lie. This is why you take more detailed notes than I do.
Would you, Council of Dragons, be willing to take us to the Star Mounts? Would it be considered an affront to Rivara? Take that many dragons there?
We can safely say that it would be perceived as an affront and a direct threat if we were to send any more than one as a guide.
Could you teleport us there without going with us? Just because we're not familiar with the area.
Much like your fair city, there is a limit to where we could magically take you to, but we could get you very close. At least to the direct path that Elia here has been able to take times before.
Okay.
Leah, would you want to go with? Or not?
In the interests of our collective efforts, as well as continuing negotiations that have not yet concluded between myself and him directly, of course.
But does she actually want to go?
You can vibe
there?
check.
Okay. What do my elf eyes see? 35.
Okay, fear is the only like accurate word that comes to mind, but it's not like a fear that you're asking her, like you're not asking her to go there against her will.
Yeah.
She just knows that it is dangerous. Like she respects the potential danger that can come from going there and talking with this dragon again, but she was already planning on doing it anyway.
Well,
Yeah, that's how I'm going to say it. Respect for the danger, not necessarily fear.
anything we should do to prepare for that meeting?
Perhaps prepare very carefully how you intend to address him, how you intend to handle if he comes across as cross, and how you intend to react most importantly if he comes across as accepting. And for no lack of care, your most well-rested and literally empowered selves should be prepared.
Okay, so do we want to give like our allies like hey, see you at the Well of Dragons in a week, and then go talk to them? Do we want to wait until we're there? Give them less time to prepare? If we decide to go to the Well of Dragons. We can just wait till we.
Yeah, it's like it depends on how this conversation goes, I think.
Okay. Well, I will still spend today letting some of our pals know that we have potential ideas of what we would like to. Going to the whale and gathering our allies. Giving them time to at least be like, all right, it's happening soon.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't have a date. Almost like a beacon being lit, but it's like, I'm lighting it yellow instead of lighting it emergency red. I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to do today.
Not me.
'Cause we gotta rest before we.
We gotta rest. Prepare carefully.
Does Ulta get any vibes from any of these dragons that they would be willing to talk to her about our missing shadow? Privately. Quietly.
Generally, vibe checking that without directly mentioning it in the first place will be difficult to determine, but you can try. Let's generally insight check them. Nice.
26.
Three of them in particular might not be so welcoming to this, as they have been, in the case of your party, just by volume of interactions, less directly involved with you as the other two. The other two being Elia, of course, since you have had direct interactions with her one-on-one, as well as, or like party to one, as well as like in the context of like the council meeting of Waterdeep that she was at, and she led you to the Council of Dragons in the first place. So just by association of more direct working with her, she would likely be more open to you. The other that you gather would probably be Protanther. He would be giving you, if he hasn't already by now, he'd be giving you the vibe of like, his whole motive is like the mission. And the mission is stop Tiamat from getting here. He started out a lot more like neutral toward anybody other than metallic dragons. Like if there's collateral damage, we'll deal with it. Now he seems to be a lot more aligned with bring the rest of the world on board and try to get everybody involved and protected at the same time. So Elia, a little bit more personal approach. Protanther, more aim it toward the mission and I'm on board approach.
Ulta's gonna go rogue and go for the protractor.
Okay.
Protractor man. Protractor on a
He
trainer.
only makes right angles.
Or janitor.
As he should.
Excellent.
But she would want to do it privately, and if she has noticed him like drinking a specific drink or snacking on a specific snack, she would bring that with her when she's approaching.
Okay. So am I getting this correct that like you're waiting until the like general meeting part of this is done?
Yeah, we're at like desserts and digestives.
Yep. Okay. We'll do that then. Before we get to that point, is there anything else that the group has for the group?
No. Oh.
Okay. Then Protanther again will kind of lead the sort of exit here, and like wipe his mouth with his napkin, fold it up, place it on the table, and kind of slide his chair back and say, well, this has been rather productive. I believe we would enjoy continuing to mingle and discuss as necessary anything else that may come to mind. However, we can relax a little more at this point. Ladies, gentlemen, and he's gonna look directly at the other 4 dragons, and they'll all quickly stand up and sort of put their hands out. Those of you with an insight or perception of 13 or higher would recognize that, like, this is not how they've ended meetings before. Any of you with lower than that would just be like, huh?
Okay. On
and
it.
Yep, and all 5 of you can feel like a piercing in your sternum, and all of a sudden none of you are able to move.
Uh-oh.
You can still see and hear. You can move your eyes.
What the heck?
You are unable to move. All of you are able to see that everyone else around you is not moving. Everything has gone to grayscale. Black, white, gray, and everything between. And you hear all 5 of the dragons' human, elf, dwarf voices combined relay a message to you. We must violate our own cardinal rule, as well as your black staff, in order to convey this message. The ritual has begun. It started long before we thought it would. Luckily, some amount of time is still on our side, as the ritual takes weeks, at least. Your efforts over the last several months have made it take much longer than it would have. If any one more of the dragon masks would have been in their possession, it may have already been complete by now. But we are officially on a timer. Please, take your next actions pointedly, carefully, and in an effort to arm yourselves for the final conflict. Your black staff, even, will not be able to recognize that we did this. We trust in your discretion at our actions. And they put their hands down and look around, and immediately all 5 of them just start like saying thank yous and shaking hands and taking like one little bit of like tea or coffee left and standing up and starting to walk around to like generally disperse but still kind of mingle a bit.
Hey, Spunk.
Eh. Yeah.
We need to go distract Black Staff so Alta can ask questions.
Okay. How big a distraction are we looking for?
I'm thinking we could either go as missionaries, asking if he's like seen the light, or we could try the old keep asking him why until he breaks. So we ask him one question and then we say why, why. You know, there's a whole bunch of little riffs we could do. We need to give Ulta her time.
Those sound pretty fun. I have a really good like spell for distraction. As it turns out, do you have a diamond worth 5,000 gold?
Yes, of course, but I don't think we can do magic in here right now. So it has to be like our own wits.
But if I do it right outside, like at the door, perhaps? At the
like
gate, so to speak?
Maybe at the gates of Waterdeep if we left Waterdeep.
Oh, well, this
is like all the black staffs.
That's okay. So we'll do it your way then. We'll do the...
Give him the old razzle dazzle. Hey, Icarus, we need you.
God, what is it this time?
We're gonna give him the old ask him why until he dies ruse. We're gonna have to talk to Blackstaff. Or if you have another ruse that you want to do.
Snake oil salesman?
Ooh, yeah. Let's see. Ooh, we could ask him what the city has to offer us to aid in the upcoming battle and just ask him about all sorts of different ideas. Because like that's actually important information.
We can't do magic either, but what about potions? What if we like pour the potion all over him? Would that be the same as him drinking it?
I don't know that dumping a drink on someone's head is a good idea.
But it's like a magical drink, like this one changes him into a dragon.
Oh my gosh, Blackstaff! It's so good to have had this time with you tonight. I'm gonna look pointedly at Aster and Ulta, like give you guys a get out of here stare.
Have you heard the good word of this new god going around named Jesus? It's crazy, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Because we saw the guy with the sign outside the gates, and we were like, who the fuck is Jesus?
He's been screaming real loud for like 3 whole days, and he hasn't eaten not once.
Make a performance or deception check, your choice, at advantage.
You go ahead. Juno?
Performance
Are
or
you better at those, maybe?
I have a +1 to performance.
That's
and
perfect. Why don't you go ahead and do it?
+2 to deception.
Do it.
And I can't cast a spell on myself, but I still get an advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at advantage. There we go.
That's pretty good.
Dirty 20. We don't need to look at that natural one at all.
That's better than we could have hoped for.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Holy shit.
Giveth to me, baby.
Well, in this case, they took it away and then gave it back.
Yeah, they're like, here you go.
Got your nose. Just kidding.
They did the airplane with the applesauce.
The dice have cats at home.
Okay.
Okay.
The Elia and let's say at least one of the others, the one known as Yadius, will give you just like a side eye with a smirk and like immediately catch on and wisp away with you to discussing this Jesus, leaving a clear opening for Protanther to be approached if that is wanted right now.
Yeah. It is wanted right now.
Okay.
Give it to her.
Consent, ladies and gentlemen.
She's drooling for it. Give it.
Solid right angle magic right now.
Just slide the Protanther in.
Magic. Right ankle match.
Right.
It is wanted right now. It should be a motivational poster in everyone's like personal duvet or whatever.
She just wants your thick Protanther.
Hey, you guys, Chrissy's birthday is soon. You guys should all send her protractors. I'm so pissed I already sent you your birthday present.
Oh, man.
I mean, protractors can't be that expensive, right? It's gonna like $1 for a
Slutty-ass
protractor.
protractors.
I'm like $1
yeah.
at Target.
A throbbing protractor.
Oh my god. All right,
I
anywho,
really
Ulta.
wish chat like had a heck face palm counter. I feel like I've gotten so many.
Chrissy, you're too far away, so I'll just send you a hopefully solicited protractor pic.
That's fine. Yeah.
You can measure the curvature.
When I get it, I'll eat my Snickers bar upside down.
There you go. Oh my god.
Ah! Woo!
Professor, sir. She's gonna walk up to this guy. Just, and on that note.
Ooh, all right. I'm ready. I'm totally ready.
She'll again take him, if he was drinking anything specific, one last one of those, and then like, you know, like a donut, whatever. No big deal. I just want to say thanks for your time. I was wondering if I could steal just a minute or two more. I promise to not take up too much. I have some concerns that I feel like I don't want to scare my team with too much yet until I have some more details. Do you have just a second?
For anyone of your party, we have all the time that we can spare, yes.
Great. Here, I got you this. And she's gonna hand him a donut. Chocolate
thank you.
glazed. Yeah. A little cup of coffee. You love a cup of coffee with a sweet treat, you know? So I have been exploring a few things about myself. And they're mostly related to my lack of shadow. And she's going to glance like down towards where a shadow should be according to the lights hanging in her home.
Yeah.
And I've had some really concerning kind of experiences that is leading me to believe that maybe I have descendancy maybe from dragons. I'm worried about this because what I don't want it to do is absolutely botch everything we've been working towards. And I'm not entirely sure. Nobody's really quite sure what's going on. And while I don't necessarily need a direct yay or nay on anything, I want to make sure that I myself am not going to be a problem in some of these spaces, more so for my friends. And, well, you know, stopping the end of the world.
What exactly is it founded on that you believe this exploration of yourself could be a problem?
Well, because it appears that I'm not quite whole, full, complete. There are some other words. It's almost like I keep getting glimpses into maybe myself or maybe a family member's past life that in general, I want to make sure that nothing that maybe I could have done or they could have done is going to really kind of bite us in the ass. For a lack of any better phrasing.
Is your concern founded in a fear that discovering this completion of yourself could turn you perhaps into something or someone that is motivated differently from what you are right now?
You got it. Spot on. Right on the nose.
Well, there are some in this world who believe that one's shadow in the sun is tied directly to their soul, in some sort of both literal and metaphysical way at the same time. I cannot say that I have experienced anything in my lifetime to prove or disprove that, but I have heard many a tale in my travels and in meeting so many different people across so many different places and times. I do subscribe to the understanding that with every fable there is some amount of truth that creates it, however little or much that may be. I believe that if you understand yourself to be good and your motivations to be just, any dangers would be worth confronting directly. Because I do know, regardless of my beliefs or understandings, here too. I do know that a full connection to one's soul, there is no strength that can rival it.
What if, hypothetically, you think maybe the connection to your soul and shadow, et cetera, is protected by a creature that you have vague memory of, but it's kind of just, I don't know how. What if you and she's gonna get like hyper flustered, like what if you don't know where to find it? How do you find it? Because if it's in the dragon hole, I have some anxiety about that.
He's gonna look around the room, kind of like doing that. Is anybody looking right now? Kind of stare. He's gonna squat down and put a hand on your shoulder, like the very quintessential friend having a friend moment kind of thing. Look you dead in the eyes and say, if someone were to intentionally set up a protector for someone else's soul, I would assume that soul to be very important, very powerful, and for there to be some reason for it to be protected. In your case, and he's like, his pupils are kind of like dilating and coming back in. Like he's very intentively looking at, figuratively, into your soul. Like vibe checking you. In your case, if the stories are true and what I have experienced for myself are true, it is a very good soul indeed. I think it would be very well worth your time and even the potential dangers to find it.
Check. Is it in the dragon hole? Well. How do you find them? Do you have a book about this? I'll just read a book if you have a book, or like Grimm's fairy tales or whatever.
Funny thing about dragons. Wise and knowledgeable and intelligent and as powerful and as time-scouring as we can be, no one of us can know everything. This is perhaps the greatest wisdom that I take my pride in possessing. I must direct you to Imarvarno.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember. Okay. I appreciate you. She's gonna hug him.
He's gonna kind of be like taken aback for a second, but then almost immediately reciprocate.
Thank you. Dinner was great. You are great. She's gonna give him like one of those little tap, and I'm assuming she's probably comes up to like his hip or
Yeah, like just barely when he's standing
yeah,
up.
yeah. So it's just gonna like kind of like tap him on the shin, like a good job,
Well,
kid.
he's like down on your level right now. He's been
Oh,
squatting
okay.
down
He's
for
like
about-
sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll just kind of like give him a hug and then just do one of these, like a good job, champ.
He'll kind of like do that as well to you, and like while winking, he'll say, "The same would be the very least to claim about the hero of Greenest."
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that. Thanks. Thank you. And that's all. She'll just kind of stand there awkwardly until he leaves.
So he'll catch on to that pretty quick, and then he'll just like stand up, kind of like readjust his robe and just well now, and like join a conversation that's happening over there. What's happening with the rest of you guys during this?
I'm gonna occasionally glance up at Aster, who I hope is eavesdropping a little bit on that conversation, so that way we can make eyes in case it's like, oh, they're ending their conversation, or oh, things are going sour.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, that's the thing. I'm not listening to exact details. Like, if anything, Astro would be watching like body language of like,
vibe
is the
checking.
conversation over? Yeah, I'm not trying to listen in on whatever's being said. I think Astro would like get the vibe and be like, okay, I respect that privacy out of the conversation that Ulta wants to have. But yeah, it's just like kind of okay, watching these two people talk about Jesus while that conversation's going on. It's like, okay, it looks like that conversation is done. They can stop filibustering about Jesus.
Okay. Anything else for the Icarus, Spunk? I don't want to put you guys on the spot or anything, but didn't want to miss anything if you had something in mind.
And the whole thing about washing bare feet, I mean, come on.
With their hair?
Disgusting.
Like, what was that
Oh
about?
my god, I forgot
He
about
drew
that.
pictures of the guy. I'm like, get a haircut. You're a god, not a fucking hippie. Good lord.
I think that was like the aesthetic, though. The vibe I got from there.
I mean, but still, he looks dirty.
Yeah.
He looks dirty and unkempt. At least, even I take a bath every once in a while.
I mean, but sometimes
Especially-
that's like, it's just straight up in mud.
Especially after that story about him smashing all those fish with his bare hands and then touching bread afterwards. That's gotta be really unsanitary. Like, every kitchen knows to keep those things separate.
At least violently stinky.
I can only imagine.
I almost regret asking. I'm kidding.
I imagine they threw him up on that wooden stick just to get him up in the air to like air him out.
Bro.
It's so stinky. They had to like lift him up a little.
Oh my god.
Give him a wee in the bath or something.
Oh my god, how is Chicago not being blasted by bolts of lightning?
If a natural disaster happens like imminently in Chicago, we're gonna know why.
Joke's on you. The snowstorm happened yesterday.
Don't wish this upon me.
Our horrible 1
I'm an
3/4
innocent
inches of
bystander.
snow.
Oh man. Anywho.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Icarus is, although being invited, staying as far away from this conversation as possible.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, we're given the riff of like, what is this guy? The way the way stoop kids exist, like you're just suddenly able to talk shit for 4 hours. That's what we're doing.
Excellent.
So until we get that cue from Aster in regards to Ulta, we just riff.
Yeah. Give him a little finger guy.
All right, well, that's our thoughts on Jesus. We don't think that they should be given a temple here. Just don't do it.
Waterdeep's too full anyway. Where would you put it?
Yeah, it's,
Right?
last thing we need is more to worry about.
Right? Like, just by chance, before like they're like actually done with their like distraction conversation, Icarus is gonna walk over and start a real conversation. He's gonna be like, so like, I was wondering, the dragons are clearly involved. We have the support of like the city, but like, why don't we have any like religious supports? Do the gods want Tiamat to rise? Like, are we the only two people related to any divinity that is not okay with Tiamat rising?
Is there anyone in particular that you're asking that question?
Like, I'm just walking up to Blackstaff and Juno and Spunk. Just
Conveniently, they're not allowed to intervene, as I am given to understand.
Yeah, we've been asking for intervention a whole bunch, and even the Moonweaver is just like, do your best,
Blackstaff
but in a pretty
will-
way.
Blackstaff will chime in. It is my understanding that there are some, at least, religiously affiliated leaders that are openly joining the collective efforts. I can't say I have any direct purview into the gods themselves, but it could behoove you to go ask.
Maybe this would be a great way for like the Jesus guy you were talking about to finally, or was it Jesus to finally like climb in power is by actually doing something when the other gods won't, right?
I don't think even if Jesus was allowed to participate in human affairs, that it would do very much for him to drag his unwashed pee-pee across the land where all the dragons are.
Oh.
Keep him up in the Pacific Northwest with the rest of the unwashed heathens. I'm coming for you, Seattle.
Jesus.
I will drag Seattle to hell with me, so I can spend more time with Lady Vermin. Hey.
So, should we all go night-night now? And then get ready, prepare all the things for tomorrow?
Sound good to me. Oh, I don't carry around a lot of weight, but my lower back is killing me. Maybe it's these wooden chairs? I thought this was like... Does part of going to refined dinner parties mean you have to be uncomfortable when you sit down? My anus feels like it's on fire from sitting for so long.
I think that just means we need to work on your cheeks a little bit. Need to get a little caked up.
Has anything to do with it? I got a fat pair of cheeks, but my butthole is still on fire. I even put a little pad underneath me.
Did you put something in it?
Not in it, no. I just told you I set.
Is something trying to come out of it?
Not today.
Oh no, never mind. No.
You were about to ask how often I poop, weren't you?
Hey, Spunk, how often do you poop?
There we go.
It's funny you ask because it's more of a regurgitation. But all of the waste, I just kind of spit it out. Don't really have a shithole like you uprights do.
But then why do you have an anus that hurts?
Well, like, because it's hard to explain that my coccyx is hurting. Like, I want you to know where it hurts without having to explain to you that it's my tailbone.
You have bones?
Some. Collected most of them myself, but yes, I do have bones. Most of them are hollow, so I can float.
Oh, sick.
You may be wondering how I know that information, and I'll tell you that when you've seen a few of your brothers and sisters eaten alive by your own mother, you get to see a lot of things. A lot of the things on the inside that you wouldn't normally be privy to unless you cut them open yourself.
Kind of like when the curtain falls during a C-section.
Mm-hmm. But the curtain is their skin.
Spunk, you seem to have a lot of family trauma. Is there anything we can do to support you through this?
I mean, that part's pretty normal. I mean, I'm told every generation in our family has gone through the great eatening.
Just because it's normal doesn't mean it's like super chill.
I mean, I guess it'd be really horrific if like one of you uprights ate your babies, but it'd be really weird if you had like 100 babies at a time. You know what I mean? Like, how big would you have to be to carry that many? It's not like they're little pellets when they come out like we were. We were eggs, and then we hatch, and then our parents, being you know, part amphibian, have that part of their brain that tells us, ooh, food in the water, and then they go feral. It doesn't last very long, but it's long enough for, you know, a few people to get launched on. Can you imagine if there were just like people having 100 babies? That'd be weird. For you, not for me. It's normal for me.
Right, Blackstaff, it was great to talk with you tonight.
This conversation in front of the bus.
You know we are. Sorry
Oh.
for taking up so much of your time. Thank
You're
you
still
for
here.
giving it to us. I'm so sorry.
Oh, there's nothing to be sorry about. This has been rather enlightening, and I appreciate that you have agreed to allow me as part of this discussion, as I can covertly, of course, take what I can of it and plan accordingly with the Council of Factions.
Right. Yeah, we're putting up the signal flare for coming soon to the world near you.
See you on the battlefield.
See you on the battlefield. We don't have a date yet, but get ready.
I await your messages then.
Prepare yourselves.
So off to Inferno, bro.
Hippity hoppity bounce, bounce, bounce.
Well, first bed. We're gonna go back up to our bunk rooms here at Ulta's parents' house. And we're gonna go sleep. Or we could, make a door, and I'll just look at Spunk, and we could stay in our house.
Oh, yeah. Hold on one sec. And I'll go up to like a closet, look inside, and then close the door, and then draw like a chalk knob around the other knob, which will grow around the knob of the door. And then he'll knock 3 times in the tune of like... And then he'll open the door, and it'll just be like a big ass open foyer into our old home. Ready? Oh. I should have mentioned, we're probably going to come out of this door when we leave. Is that going to be okay? Or should we have done this somewhere a little less? Should we get like a very tiny apartment window, room or something?
Well, they also have access to the door, right? It's just a closet door.
Yeah, but it's like in the middle of their home, you know? So like, should we have done this at like
Greg,
the closet?
Mom,
Maybe we do it by the door outside, you know, so that we leave through the building without being in their house and overstaying our welcome. Although this is your house, Kragma, so like maybe you tell us what's okay and what isn't. I should have asked.
We'll just look at her parents.
They don't seem to be bothered or moved in any direction.
Okay, well then inside we go. After you, I have to be in last. Otherwise, you're sleeping on the floor outside or in Ulta's room.
As this is happening, Blackstaff and the dragons are kind of like saying their goodbyes and making their way out.
Hold on. Where's that? Oh, okay. Goodbye, Peter. Goodbye, Elaine. Goodbye, Oscar. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye, Tammy. I see you, Tammy.
I feel like maybe that one comment was directed towards you.
Which one?
The one about saying their full names.
No. No, 100% not. We do have to say it when we talk to the person whose soul we're going to ask for. But this is just a dinner party. We don't need anything from them right now. Maybe later.
Did he say the soul you were asking for was Inferno Bro or Shane?
Shane. Yeah, Enmi Verga is the guy who's gonna take us to Shane.
Mm.
We'll get in, or say your goodbyes, because like I said, I gotta go in last.
I'm gonna go hug all the dragons on their way out.
Okay. They will all reciprocate. One or two of them might be a little bit reserved at first, but seems your reputation collectively as a group has been improving each of their individual dispositions toward you.
And then I'm gonna be like, see you at brunch, bye.
Elliot, perhaps if you want to swing by in the morning, we can discuss going on an adventure together.
If you'd like to do so quickly, then yes, of course.
I'm just gonna sleep in my bed.
Swing by for breakfast in the morning, Ulta. I'm making a hero's feast.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Any particular flavor of bugs that you've been reminded of that you want?
Ooh, salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar it is. I'm also making pickles.
Hell yeah.
I was about to
Sweet
say-
or not?
I'm gonna make a variety and just put them in a jar, or in different jars, so that way they don't mix.
I was gonna say, could we do like dill pickle bugs? I don't know why, but that sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, we could probably pickle some bugs.
Did you guys see the new flavor that that one brand Haze put out that was espresso martini bugs?
Oh.
Oh.
Haze. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't, but color me intrigued. Maybe, yeah, we'll put some bugs in espresso martinis for the breakfast. Espresso martinis will be our cocktail brunch.
I don't know. Alcohol soaked bugs. It's so gross to me, not gonna lie. But hey, I don't know. You can
You don't have to have it. It's okay. Not everyone has to have
We
it.
all get to pick and choose. It's fine.
Usually I have to wait until the vodka has fruit flies at the bottom to get something
No,
like that.
ew.
Hey.
No. Oh, that's
Ooh.
vile.
But this
Hello,
is way
dive
better.
bar. Excellent.
Oh.
Okay, anything in particular that anybody would like to do before initiating the overnight rest?
I'm going to ask. I'm going to cast divination. I
Okay.
think is one of the spells I have. Just to get better. Like, or. Where'd it go? I have it. Where is it? I essentially want to ask for if this spell, like, if this is a good idea going to meet with. Or wait, you can ask one question about a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply, which may be a short phrase or a cryptic rhyme. The spell doesn't account for circumstances that might change the answer, such as casting of other spells. So basically, I would like to ask if there would be anything helpful for us to do in our upcoming encounter with
Anything to do?
Is there anything that would help us that we could do? Is there anything that we could do to aid us in our upcoming conversation with Ivermectin? I can't. I
Deva,
like literally keep looking at this word, and I'm like, my mouth can't move in those
dragon names,
directions.
man. Yep. A Deva with a chain, like a necklace medallion kind of thing going on, that is a symbol clearly resembling the Moonweaver, and the dual moon motif would sort of appear before you with a look on her face that is one of like really intense concentration, and a sword drawn that looks like, imagine an angelic sword, like literally it is of the purest cleanliness, literally. It is of the sharpest blade that it could possibly be. It is in an arm that is well practiced. You are getting a message vaguely that translates to you as arm yourselves with the rawest power you can and the most respectful wit at the same time.
Oh, so we're fucked. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll let everyone know to arm themselves.
I have an ability that gives someone advantage. How would I say this in game? That makes someone pretty much better at everything and makes all enemies worse at everything towards them. But that's kind of all I have new that might be helpful. So
Could
like
be.
There's too many new goddamn spells.
if we have like a new head of talk person, maybe that.
Well, you will have time to think about that. Anybody else want to do anything before initiating the long rest? Okay.
No.
In lieu of a second break, which we would normally have, I had a feeling that we would be ending a little bit early today. This is about the point that I planned on calling it a night. I have plenty to work off of to prepare for next time. So we'll go around the table, introduce ourselves and our characters one more time, and any fun stuff you have coming up that you want to advertise, and we will call it a day there, starting with Heck.
All right, yeah, hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here, I'm on your screen. And as per usual, I was back with Aster, the Shifter Circle Wildfire Druid. You can find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch, Blue Sky, etc., etc. I have a link bio out there that has like all of those links together, so just find that. It's attached to all of my socials. And that's the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wander around to different channels and wear a lot of hats and do a bunch of different stuff. Most notably, every other Monday, you can find myself, Christy, and Corndog over on Neon Lights Roleplay, where we play an Oathsworn Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. It's a very good time. It is very interesting that we're both in points of the game where there is a timer. It's Toby! I love him! Look at him!
You heard his name?
Yeah, Toby! I love you! Oh, look, he's such a perfect boy. I love him. He's perfect. Anyway, and then on the second Sunday of each month, you can find me playing in a City of Mist campaign over on Singularity Roleplay. We were off for this month because of like Valentine's plans and stuff like that. But generally, you can find me over there doing that kind of thing. We'll see what's coming up. There's some fun stuff coming up, especially on Neon Lights, so you won't want to miss it. New show premieres and all that good stuff. So just stay tuned. But that's me. On over to Chris.
Hi, everybody. My name's Chris, and I played Spunk. The class is. And that's as best as I can describe it. The only thing I got to advertise is tomorrow. Final episode, I believe. of the Reclaimers. Me, Chrissy, Courtney, oops, Corn Dog. Not her Jesus name.
Not my Jesus given name.
How could you?
Me, Chrissy, Corn Dog, Vermin,
The doxed.
and Josh are playing the final episode of the Reclaimers. You know, you should be there because it's the finale.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
So see you there tomorrow, and then after that we got Divinity next Friday, and then we'll be moving to every Friday with Divinity with Joe Bovaromo. No Joe Bovaromo. Title and working, but you know, we'll see you there. Hyacinth.
Bye. It's me, Hyacinth. I can't believe I'm still doing this one thing I thought of like early on in the campaign. Yeah. Corn Dog?
Hey, it's me, Corn Dog McGraw. What are you, Chrissy?
Go ahead, Magic.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm that Magic Juice. Hey, the next thing we have going on in this channel is Lines in the Lies. Our next session is on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That is our Vecna campaign. We're well into it with a lot of good stuff coming on, as well as, you know, the campaign as written, as well as a bunch of homebrew incorporated. And we just had a juicy cliffhanger on the last one. So that continues on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, we'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel with this campaign 2 weeks from today. That should be it for now. Say goodnight, everybody.
Wait, before good night. Question.
Yeah.
When can we fight the other campaign?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes, please.
The battle royale.
Let me noodle.
We're coming for you Mondays.
They're Sundays. It's Sunday.
Sundays.
Fucking Sundays can get it too.
We're gonna invade. We're gonna crash. We're gonna crash the Zoom call. We have no control over that though.
Will be coming.
I'm not gonna say no, especially because it was a request before, and we just kind of lost opportunity to make that happen. Let me noodle on it.
Want to drop the boot?
Yeah, but they gotta do it as like, you know,
Ideally,
their current level. If they're level 3, then it doesn't matter. We're coming in hot. Level
Yep.
19.
Oh my God.
There,
We're
there-
crashing.
Sad.
there are methods.
We're crashing the Zoom call, fucking
I came
throwing
in like a
spells.
wrecking ball.
they go to fight Vecna, and we just all pop out of Vecna.
We
He
are
was the final
Vecna.
boss? No.
Oh, God. All right,
Time
good
to
night,
die,
everybody.
fucker.